What's up, YouTube? Back at it again with another video. Um, Obviously, as you guys can tell by the thumbnail, everything else on screen and whatever, that this is a different video. This is like pretty big deal of what's going on right now. It's actually like been going on for like the past like year and a half, like possibly like 2 years. Well, obviously we didn't hear about it until just like just like a week ago about. Because of Reckless Ben. I'll get into this entire ordeal. Bricks and minifigures are a Lego reseller thing, basically GameStop, but just for Lego. Oh, excuse me. I believe I've heard of them like before this, because I kind of was into Legos a lot, but obviously I didn't. I don't know, like, I actually don't know, like, when they, like, first opened, but I feel like I definitely heard of them before, but I've never, like, actually, like, bought anything from them. But, yeah, without further ado, let's just get straight into it. I'm gonna try my best to explain as much as I can in, like, a video, condensed. But, yeah. So, the story begins with this guy here on screen named Brian, like, Brian Massell, I'm pretty sure that's his last name. Well, Brian, his father, 83-year-old collector. He's been collecting Star Wars Legos for like however many years. It's been like a decades, or however long they said. And obviously, I believe it was either health issues or like just like him, like whatever, but. Eventually, he decided he wanted to sell his Star Wars Lego collection. And he then looks, his son, basically does it for him, because obviously he's 83 years old. He really doesn't, like, know all this stuff. So obviously, he looks up some stuff, like, in his area, and obviously he reads, like, Bricks and Minifigs is obviously like pretty well known in the Lego community, and like they're pretty like well known for like reselling stuff. So obviously he goes to them, and obviously this Star Wars Lego collection is like estimated worth up to like $200,000. Like this is like pretty big. So obviously he's not just gonna like do whatever, like just take it all there, like whatever. So he goes to Bricks and Minifigs, and this woman right here on screen right now was the ex-franchise manager owner. I think it was, ex-franchise owner with her husband right here. And take it to them. They do this thing called a consignment, whereas basically Brian retains ownership of the Legos, of the toys, but they're in their store, and whatever they sell, he gets a cut of the sale, and obviously the other is, I believe it was like 65% of the sales, like whatever. And I believe this like was happening, like everything was going like well for like months, whatever, up until these people are not in the wrong. These people are like a part of like are victims as well. So this one right here, she calls corporate, and obviously she says her husband right here has like had like a job opportunity overseas in like Spain or whatever, because like he's an author or something. And obviously she tells him that just tell him in advance, looking for a new franchise, buyer or whatever, like owner franchise thing. And this is where it goes awry. I believe it's like shortly after this, or like weeks or whatever, a month or after this whole thing, after she tells corporate, she then gets a call, I believe, or like an email saying that that there's another buyer coming to look at the obviously the store. And that's where the problems start. I should have gotten a screenshot of this, but oh well. But this is where the problems start. A guy named Brandon Best, who's the friend of the guy who's like buying it or whatever. Goes to the store. I believe with another person too, or I can't remember, but he goes to the store and basically tells her right here. I forgot her name. I think her name's. Oh shoot, I forgot her name. Anyways, he tells her that basically that they're gonna be terminating her contract, and that they're gonna be taking over and whatnot. And obviously, there's actually like video evidence of this as well, of this interaction, of her telling him, what about this inventory right here, these Lego Star Wars? This guy hasn't been paid yet. It's not ours. It's actually his, and whatnot. And like we're on a consignment. And the guy on the call, he's actually on the phone as well with an actual corporate guy. I should have brought him up, but his name's like Kai or Key, and basically saying, that's all the business side. They'll take over the business, take it over the consignments or whatever. And then Brian calls, and then obviously she calls Brian to tell him whatnot. And I believe like right after that, or like shortly after that, he hasn't heard anything from them. He calls them. He goes to the store talking about like where's the payments or whatever. Where's the Legos? If you guys are not gonna pay me, then just give me the Legos back. And Brian goes into the store, tells the Brandon guy, saying, "Where's my Legos? Give me my Lego." Obviously because he wants his Legos back if they're not gonna be paying him, and it's still his technically because of the consignment. And he basically said, and Brian was like saying that he's gonna sue him, and Brandon literally says verbatim, "We will literally bleed you dry if you take us to court. Because they know that they wouldn't win, but we will drag the court, like basically drag the freaking entire like court thing like as long as possible, bleed you dry, make it as much money, like more than the entire collection is worth." And obviously him and like knowing them knowing everything or whatnot. Obviously, you see right here. This is just the AI version, but whatever. And then and then comes in Reckless Ben, a YouTuber who obviously I don't think I've ever heard of this guy before this, but he's like made like previous like expose videos of like McCamey Manor or whatever, like for whatever, but. He comes in, Brian basically texts him or reaches out to him, try and get his help. And obviously, him hearing the story, he wants to help. And so, first thing he does is when he gets to the store, which is in Salem, Kaiser, Oregon, he goes up to the front desk and says, basically, this is literally like exactly what happens. He goes up to the front desk. He asks him about his friend's Legos, quote unquote, his friend Legos. And then the store manager literally says nothing. I think it's like Amber, I think her name was. But she basically really she's like, okay, what's your friend's name basically? And as soon as he says Brian, she basically just gets all defensive, saying, and she literally like calls up the owner saying, "Look at the cameras. I'm being harassed right now. I am being harassed. I'm being harassed." And obviously this is like pretty sketch. So obviously he goes in, whatnot, and obviously I'm not gonna get every detail like whatever, but go watch this video. It's like an hour 25 minutes long, but it's pretty worth it. He also has a part 2 that's going to be coming out. We'll also like cover that a little bit later in this video, but right now we're covering the first video and like some statements from the company. But yeah, so he goes in there. Obviously he gets told to leave she calls the cops. He gets trespassed, and obviously like the whole cop interaction, like the body cam whatever, is like pretty weird because they're basically like basically it's super weird. You just gotta like watch it for yourself. But anyways, he gets trespassed from the entire thing. Uh, they go to corporate. He also goes to the corporate office where he meets this guy Ammon McNeff. And bro, this is like, man, this it's like super hard to like pretty much like tell you everything that happens. I'm just gonna try my best. But he goes to the corporate office, meets this guy. Ben, Reckless Ben asks about the Legos that they're holding hostage. Is like, he literally says this: "No, we're not. We're not holding any Legos. We have no Legos. We have none of your Legos." And obviously they know he's lying, but he's like, "Oh, I'm not lying." It's like freaking weird. Uh, and obviously they try to devise some more plans. They try to get at one point they try to go into. They get like one of their friends to pretend to be, famous YouTuber, do a challenge, get one of the employees on their side, to like call up the owner, because obviously they don't have the phone number, and obviously she does, she works there, and it's like a franchise place, so obviously it's like, yeah, so get this female. I'm not gonna say her name because obviously she really doesn't want anything to do with this anymore, but they get the number for the owner, call him up, and just have multiple calls. The first call was like, "What's up?" Like, we're like the Legos. Basically, the same thing what happened with the owner. And then obviously he says, "Oh, another one of the calls is he was like about the consignment. Is like, I didn't sign that. That doesn't affect me." But basically like trying to hold the Legos hostage because technically I didn't sign it, so that doesn't mean me. But even if you're like, it's it doesn't matter because it's still a signed paper document. They literally show them like trying to show them like the documents or whatever. But obviously he has none of that. At one point he's like sick and tired of all this, and he wants a written apology and whatnot from Brian. But obviously Brian, being dealt with like so much stress and stuff, he's been literally like hospitalized for anxiety, for like medications and stuff. Obviously he doesn't want to freaking apologize. But they somehow they do like a deep fake of like one of his friends on top of like Brian, whatever, and he like the owner like kind of buys it, but like he says, "You better go get if you get the apology accepted by Amber, the manager at the time, then you can have your Legos back." So obviously they go to the Lego store, not the Lego store, the Bricks and Minifigs store that she's working at, that this entire place happens at. They get the actual, approval of them to like go back onto the property because obviously they're trespassed. And as soon as they enter the store, she's like basically, "Oh, go, I'm calling the police, blah blah blah." And man, but near the end of the video, they've like done a ton of other things. Before that though, they do call the owner back again, saying the owner agrees to give back the Legos, but literally like months go by, and there's like they just keep on delaying, and obviously they think that they're never gonna get the Legos back. So the final thing that they do a small claims court, and obviously Bricks and Minifigs don't reply, so automatically they win by default. A day later, literally a day later of them winning by default, the store is entirely closed. I should have got a picture of this too. Oh well. But that's not the end of it. Recently, we'll get into the part 2 video a little bit later. Recently, the actual like corporate had put out a statement talking about one of the parts of the statements was like, "Oh, we don't know about anything consignment. Consignments are actually not allowed at Bricks and Minifigs." But obviously the ex franchise owners obviously them knowing that that's BS. They literally pull up like the whole contract, something, or like something about like the franchise contract or something, and it says right here. It literally says right here. Additionally, franchisee may also offer consignment services. So obviously they're lying about that as well. Cut to the part 2 video that is not yet public to the thing, so I'm obviously not going to talk about everything. I'm not going to show any screenshots. Obviously, this is the thumbnail. Obviously, the thumbnail isn't accurate, but so obviously, part 2 video. They want obviously Ben still wants to get the Lakers back, so he files a lawsuit against them, and obviously the courts is denying it because you have to first try to end it civilly. Like try to end it out of court before you can actually like file a lawsuit. So they go to this where these guys are at, the Joshua Johnson guy and Brandon Best, and they are all I think all of them are, like, most of them are graduates of BYU in Utah, and if you know what that college is all about, Mormons, and that will come into play very, very importantly later. So they go to this house. Obviously, before they go to this house, they went to like the corporate office in Utah, and obviously they get like kicked out, whatever. And while they're pulling up to the Josh guy's house, the cops he calls the cops, obviously because he was already on the phone, or he was probably on the phone with, the corporate office, whatever. They go to the other guy's house, they get formally trespassed, they send it into the lawsuit people. It gets accepted because they have proof of them trying to end it civilly out of court, but obviously they didn't do it. The other guys didn't want any part of that, so they were able to actually file an actual lawsuit against them. And this is where the shady stuff starts happening. American Fork Police Department, which is now recently, if you're in Utah, they were also in the news for something else. They were also like getting heat for something else. But they pull Ben and his friends over, talking about that they didn't stop at a stoplight. Got the footage. They obviously did, but they got pulled over anyway because he knows the guy. Fast forward a little bit later, they get pulled over and they're being accused for having drugs, heroin, and whatnot. So obviously, it's obviously pretty clear of what's happening. And also in this video that the screenshot is from Benjamin Gorman and I think Alyssa or something, I can't remember. But these guys also put in the comments saying that the actual, I think like the ex-owners, like, alright, sorry guys, lost my train of thought. Pause the recording because my aunt was calling me. Anyways, so they were talking, these guys were putting in the comments also saying that the former owner, like the owners and the Brandon Best guy and the Joshua Johnson guy, was also accusing them, because they got like word from like one of the like ex-employees or whatever, was actually accusing them and like spreading rumors that they were selling heroin and drugs. So obviously there's a connection there. There's a link there, which is pretty obvious. So obviously, American Fork Police Department, they pulled them over. They have some freaking 3-hour car search. Obviously, they don't find any drugs. Fast forward, he gets arrested for literal bulk out there trying to set up a GoFundMe because obviously they had no other way. But yeah, I'm not going to spoil everything that happens in part 2 because obviously I'm not going to ruin another YouTuber's video. But that's pretty much it where we're standing right now. These guys are so shady and so freaking... Oh yeah, also the police department are also all Mormons as well. So corruption, Mormon. This somehow snowballed from a theft of Lego Star Wars Legos to freaking a Mormon police cabal. Quote unquote allegedly. I gotta put that in there. Don't want to get sued by these guys. Yeah, freaking fragile egos. Uh, freaking egos made of freaking. Alright, I'm not gonna say anything else. Don't want to piss them off. Oh well, I'm not scared, bro. What did Star Wars teach us? What did the Rebel Alliance teach us? Anyways, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna spoil everything that happens in Ben's part 2 because he said on a video talking about the. Oh yeah, also there was leaked emails. There was leaked emails from actual corporate that was revealed like last night, yeah, yesterday, and Ben made a video about it today, and they're basically corporate is literally just saying to their franchisees saying that, oh yeah, we're gonna basically if anyone says anything, if anyone asks anything or whatever, how they're basically teaching them to have AI freaking chat GPT responses. Be like, hey yo, did you hear about the it's like, yo, what's going on with this freaking this bricks and minifigs stealing and stuff? It's like, sorry, that is an independent location. We have nothing to know about that. We have nothing. We have blah blah blah. It's freaking weird, but yeah, it's crazy. But he did say that part 2 will probably be public in like about a week. But yeah, I don't know what else to say besides screw bricks and minifigs. I've never bought a single Lego there, and I never will. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. This video is pretty long already. I don't know if I'm gonna upload it today or wait until part 2 is public. But yeah, yeah. But Ben, he did say that the part 2 will probably be live like in about a week. So I might hold off on uploading this. I might schedule it, but I do need to make the thumbnail for it. But hold on. But yeah, it's pretty weird, pretty sus. This, like I said earlier, this somehow snowballed from corporate theft, because they also said in their statement, oh, corporate had nothing to do with this, when literally this guy, Adam McNeff, literally oh man, just watch the video, me talking about it, like me trying to explain it with my autism, and like I really don't know how to use my words. So yeah. But yeah, God bless, Jesus loves you. Repent before it's too late. And yeah, do not buy from these shady guys, and watch out for the American Fork Police Department. Watch out for them guys. They're gonna try and silence you, or try and stop you from doing the right thing, I guess, if you it's freaking so bullcrap. Anyways, I don't know what else to say, but yeah, this has been a very long video. This might be one of my longest talking videos, besides like my Revenge of the Sith rewatch review. But yeah, God bless, you, y'all. God bless, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. See y'all.